Let's go for it.
500 years ago, there was a crisis in Europe which caused people to think about leaving in large numbers because of the lack of forests. Forests got diminished, and people started migrating to the Americas because there wasn't enough wood to support anybody. And the people who had the most wood were generally the people that ran the feudal systems. Robin Hood was notorious for his legends of stealing from the king's forest. The people who ran the forest managers in those days were called bodgers, and they would take their pay in the trimmings of the trees that they would help maintain in the forest. And in the wintertime, when there was no work, they would take the limbs that they got to keep for their payment and turn them into parts for chairs. And they developed the shave horse right here, which was essentially a primitive press. And they would carve these benches, these chair parts. These are called stretchers and legs. And during the wintertime, they would be inside making these parts, and as it started to get warmer, they would take them into town and turn them into chairs. So these chairs, they would air dry these to about 15%, and then the stretchers they would heat up and kiln dry to about 5%. So when they built these two side frames and connect the stretchers, they would bore these holes which would catch the other stretcher right in here to lock it in, and the 5% very dry wood would absorb the moisture of the legs and swell inside of the part. So that was what made it so that you could actually make this chair, and you didn't need any glue, screws, nails, clamps. It all stayed together. And then they would steam the back end of these chairs to make a slight curve, which made this chair incredibly comfortable. The Shakers really liked this chair because it was easy. They'd spend 5 hours a day in their church, and so they'd have a chair that they could lean back in and hang out in, and it was very comfortable and lightweight.